Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder. It's not every day someone invents something that changes the game. I found out about this product that I'm talking to you about, and I had to try it. So I ordered a few, and after using it, I'm sold. Now we stock them on our trucks. It's called All Brace, and it will help you sell more service and buy you time until doors come in. There's never been a greater time for a product like this. Phil has a video on his website of him cutting a door literally in half, installing the All Brace, and running it like nothing ever happened. It is literally incredible. One of the greatest selling videos I've ever seen. You're going to want to check it out at all-brace.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan, Torsion Talk Podcast. Today, we got the Double G in the house. What up?
What's up, Ryan? Happy to be back.
It's good to have you back, bro. I guess you're always back because you're here weekly on Mondays.
Yep.
And then we got the famous Tamara. Everybody knows Tamara.
Yep.
She's here to help me stay on track and ask intelligent questions.
Try
so
to.
that you can actually learn something. I'm here for the entertainment. Tamara's here for the education. She's here to make sure that you guys feel like you learned something from the podcast, not just being entertained. So, but our goal from the beginning has always been to educate and entertain. So what's going on? What's been going on with me is we've had a lot of changes, both at Aaron Overhead Door and here. Aaron Overhead Doors, Josh has been doing an incredible job. We just released episode 8 of Committed to Culture.
9.
Was it 9?
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm just here for entertainment and the beautiful looks. Just kidding. And so we've got 9 just got released. The last few episodes, we really tried to like target focus. First like 4 or 5 was just like, that's cool, let's post it. And so then we got a little bit organized. So we're starting to hone in and make the show a little bit better. If you haven't caught one of the last few, please make sure you do so. While you're at it, there's a little red button on there that says subscribe. That will help, as all the YouTubers say, smash that like button. Just kidding. But I don't know anything about the algorithm on YouTube as far as that goes. Don't really care at this point. I'm really doing it for business owners. But I guess if we got a lot of likes and a lot of subscribers and it showed up, we could help more business owners. So
Yeah. Nothing bad can come of it.
Smash that like button. Just kidding. Watch all my kids. My kids are throwing YouTube up on the television all the time, and it's like a bunch of like these guys are just screaming for like an hour straight. Do this challenge. Oh, he messed up. Yeah. And like my nerves are shot. Like I'll be downstairs for 30 minutes and I'm ready to kill somebody.
It's stressful.
It's just constant screaming.
Yep.
And they're all constantly like,
your kids watch YouTube videos though of like if their video game, like, okay, they've been playing video games for a while. All right, listen, take a break from the games. They go and they put YouTube on the TV and they watch other people play video
games. Yes, it's 100%. The most bizarre thing.
That is exactly how it goes.
So weird.
Yeah. So yeah. And I told him, I said, bro, you can't watch YouTube. He'll be on his iPad watching YouTube and then he'll throw it up on the television. I'll be like, what? He's like, I'm not watching YouTube. I'm watching TV. I'm like, no, bro, you're still watching YouTube on the TV. Like whatever he can do to manipulate the situation. So anyway, we transitioned Emma out of such and such. She was a wonderful addition to the company, but or not addition, but a wonderful team member and did a lot for us. But we have seen so many step up, and I would say we're actually better off now because of some new processes and systems we put in place, and our workflows were more efficient and able to scale faster. So really cool. We had a existing staff member who was ready to step up. So we promoted him. His name is Michael. And then we hired a girl named August who started with us last week, and she's turning out to be a good one. So we're really excited, and we are constantly interviewing. We got a lot of growth to do, but for the most part, everything's been going well. GDU's been going great. We had a new person come in. We're starting to collect data for benchmarking so that we can compare not like dealer to dealer, but like what are the dealers in your group doing versus, whatever. It's all anonymous. So I think that's really cool. Tamara's taking over that. And then a month or two ago, we put Tamara in charge of doing like concierge for the business owners. How's that going, Tamara?
It's going really well. Some of them are very like on the ball with like sending me requests, and some of them are a little shy about it. I have to, yeah, but it's really well. I feel very like it's a good addition. It's adding some value for sure.
I have a feeling this is going to spawn off into everybody hiring like virtual assistants pretty much. Because it's nice. It's like a genie in the bottle. When you need something, you just rub the bottle, and then Tamara pops up, and she's like, and I'm like, hey, Tamara, can you build a report for this? She's like, okay. And then like an hour later, it's like, poof.
We could use more Tamara. Definitely could use more Tamara.
Oh, you guys know that there's only one of me.
Yeah, that's true. I saw pictures. Looks like you and Bear did a July 4th parade that was like all out.
We did. We do it every year. His dad is very into going big on 4th of July. So
is that him in the driver's seat?
Yes.
In the video? Okay.
Yep. He wrapped his truck, pulled an all-nighter, and wrapped his truck.
Special wrap just for the parade.
Well, he needed to wrap it anyway, but he said he could not drive a plain white truck in the parade. So yeah, that's what our family project was.
It did look
awesome. It looked good. He did a good job for sure.
Where did you guys get the Hulk? Was that Hulk?
Yeah, it's a Hulk statue, and Bear's dad Jimmy knows a guy that does like themed car washes around town, and he would always take Bear there because there's a lot of dinosaur statues. And one time he saw that there was the Hulk there, so he asked to purchase it, and now he has the Hulk in his
totally something I would do.
Yeah. And he's got a little menu statue as well that lives in
car washes are smart.
Yeah. It's called Jurassic Car Wash, and it's like a huge hit with kids. So
that is so cool.
Yep.
I think I want to do that.
Well, I know a guy.
Nice. I might need to come out and check that out. So that's what's been going on in my life. I actually created a third company. This would be my second time running 3 businesses, but really technically it's kind of just for tax purposes because we've been booking, speaking and consulting and stuff like that through such and such media. And so I created another entity called the RL Group. Cheesy name. I know I'm so good at naming stuff. But it's specifically for consulting. And so now I've got to have 3 visions instead of 2, which is even more fun.
It kind of is one really big vision though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is a little bit. I mean, I know eventually I'm going to have to branch outside of like the garage door industry. But I'm having so much like, dude, if I could tell you when I get hired to go to like Shoals and Cooler this week, I'm doing an HVAC company here in town. And this is like you got 2 full days to go in and try to make an impact on a business. That's like the funnest thing in the world to me. Like, it's better than Disney. It's better than vacation. It's better. It's just, that is the best thing that I could ever do. Like, I get to get paid for it too. And that's like the best part about the whole thing is it's like, this is what God created me for. I love it. It's my favorite thing in the whole world.
It's good. It's good to be fulfilling your purpose.
When you do get there, it is nice. And to be able to fulfill your purpose and get paid for it.
That's a dream.
That is the dream.
Ultimate goal, achievement unlocked.
So Greg, we have some questions.
Okay.
I posted on Torsion Talk podcast that I'm going to be interviewing you. And so we've got a few questions.
Okay. I missed that.
Question number 1. Have you named the beard?
Have I named the beard? I'm pretty sure it just goes by the beard.
I'm pretty sure it does. And that name is like so much cooler than if you named it something else.
I think so.
I think so too. All right. So second question. That was from Chris Hensington.
Okay.
Hennington.
Oh my God. Always trying to add a T to his name. I don't know why. Like, I think you should change it to Hensington.
So you're pronouncing it
just so Ryan can say it correctly.
Like, you get halfway there and realize there's no T and you're trying to change it. It just feels weird. And then Andrew Powell asked, how would one go about becoming sexy?
Oh man, I love it.
Come on, Greg, give some tips.
We need some tips.
I don't know. My wife says I don't like your hair that way, and I change it, and then I end up sexy, I guess.
Oh, so it's Michelle. She's the mastermind
driver,
behind it.
She's the driver for sure.
Nice.
That makes a lot of sense because
she's got very good taste.
My wife asked me to do. So maybe if I listened,
I gotta try and do some things, right?
Yeah. Damn. Okay.
She likes the beard. All of a sudden, I have a beard now. I'm not allowed to shave it. It's just my life.
Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
I would have never known. All right. So I'm going to go home, apologize to my wife, and ask her how she wants me to dress and shave. Guess we'll figure that out. Yeah. All right. Greg, I gave my update. What's been going on with you? Like, what's new in the world of Greg Giaquinto?
So, learning something every day, man. Learning new things about new things. And there's so much that I don't know, really, which is part of the fun of, I think, what we do as business owners and entrepreneurs. So right now we're looking for another technician. We're going to be looking for another salesperson. I would say that probably is the one thing that's freed up more of my time than anything else, is having a salesperson, but we need the right one. And so we've been interviewing for a couple of weeks now for tech. We brought on a younger guy, another helper that we're training, who's awesome. We actually now employ our own Tomco.
Yep.
So
did you know about that, Ryan?
So I do have a virtual assistant. So Tamara threw out there that her brother was looking for, a change of pace, looking for work. And,
nice.
If she vouches for someone, that carries a lot of weight with me. So John and I chatted a little bit. He seemed like he'd be a good fit, and he's been with us for about 3 weeks now. And everything I've asked him to do, he's killing it.
Nice.
So hopefully he's not secretly having like Tamara do it for him.
I know, right?
No.
That's
turning his homework for him. Like,
dang, how much extra work is this costing you, Tamara?
But
no, he's on the ball. He's a good kid, man. I would not have. You know how I am. I have very high standards.
Like, I better get 10% of everything you make.
Yeah, I did tell him that when Greg and I were joking. Like, I was like, in order to give you a recommendation, like, how much you gonna pay me?
So Greg, walk me through. Let's dig into this a little bit. If we can hang out right here for just a second, because I think this is one of the more underrated, underestimated positions, because business owners a lot of times find themselves like stuck in a middle where they may need a position, but they don't have the right person for it, or they're trying to like pull themselves out of a role, like a sales role or a technician role or installer role, and they don't have the money to replace themselves yet, but they can't keep up with everything. And I just think like a virtual assistant is, I mean, or an in-house assistant, either way, it doesn't matter. But I just feel like there's so much benefit to that. Can you walk me through like what made you want a virtual assistant? And then like what did you do to get one, and how are you using him?
So it's something that I've wanted to do. I don't know. I feel like it's a different type of person rather than having someone in-house. I've learned a lot about putting together like SOPs and kind of building structure for someone to use. And everybody we've brought on board, like I've been pretty clear about, hey, this position will allow you to do stuff that you want to do as long as you are willing to help build it. And so it really takes the right type of person to do that. We had a couple in-house people and they didn't really work out. One girl was great, had a really, really difficult time with showing up for work on time. And it got to a point where I just had to call it, right? Done, you're done. So the virtual, I feel like the expectations are somewhat clear. Like you have assignments and you either do them or you don't. I don't know. That's how I kind of see it. So you either do it or you don't. And with John, he's been great and very receptive to, hey, what do you think about doing this? Is this something you'd be interested in? And so there's flexibility on my end. So this is a learning process for both of us, which seems to be going pretty well, which also fits our culture, right? So I'll tie it back to that. So we have core values and we've always, for the last few months, since we've kind of been hammering those, everybody we bring on board, we kind of evaluate them by our core values. And John, he fits into those. Anything I give him, he says, yep, well, let me see what you got. I'll take a look at it. It also forces me, because he's not sitting here, to write out, hey, these are the steps I want you to follow. If you have any input or changes you think would make it more efficient, do it. So for me, it's a much clearer role. It's a much more clearly defined role. I don't know, that's pretty much.
Give me an example of things that you have him doing that's freed you up and made your life easier.
So as you know, I'm not just into running a garage door company. I like to do a lot of different things. Putting together garage door games being one of them. So
which I thought was awesome, by the way. We did a version of that. I didn't play a role in it, but my team, we did like a bunch of different things. Everything was underhand, which I'm horrible at everything underhand. I just suck at
javelin's not underhand. What's underhand?
So we did a javelin throw, but like my team, Tisha planned the games and she did a good job, but I like games that work more towards my strengths, and those
not javelin.
Ryan like games he can win.
I mean, javelin was like, I think I came in second or maybe third. But then it was like horseshoes, but it was like official length horseshoes, like for pros. This is like taking us down to the Brave Stadium, being like, okay, whoever hits a home run wins. We're gonna be there freaking all day.
Yeah.
Like there was only like 2 people that rung the freaking thing with and it's not on sand. We were on grass and hard ground.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's like
hard.
rolling 10 feet past, and so it was like
about roller tossing or the sheave one,
like literal horseshoes with this.
So you made your own.
Like the thing was this like a 1/4 inch round.
Yeah.
No. And then we did then we took the sheaves or whatever, and we had a radius, and we had 3 like target, and they would like, we'd hit it in and it bounced back out, or it rolled past it, which that wasn't that big of a deal. Like I think everybody just kind of sucked at it. We had like one guy that did a really good job. I don't
mean to interrupt you. Can you guys hear that?
All the noise in the background? Yeah.
Hang on, I gotta talk to my wife real quick.
So then we went inside and we did the cornhole.
Yeah.
And I mean, naturally, like I said, I suck at throwing things underhand, but
So you guys did kind of your own things.
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I mean, I was sending her stuff that you were posting and sent her that thing, but she had already like made her own games.
You think I should just bang on the ceiling with like a broomstick?
I don't care, bro.
Y'all want me to text her or what?
Oh, well, it's the vacuum, so I don't know if she's gonna hear it.
Oh, bless her heart.
She's killing me. Told her I was gonna be down here. Let's call her real quick.
Oh, do we get to call Michelle live on the podcast?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yes.
She's not on speakerphone at the
You're on
moment.
Torsion Talk. Give us a shout out.
We should have had Michelle on.
Hey, you're live on Torsion Talk. You with us?
Yes.
Everybody wants to know what the heck all that
Woo,
noise is.
what up?
I have
gorgeous.
free time, so I'm remodeling people.
Like, I'm trying to pick up after you and your kids, punk.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
there was a question asked. Our buddy Andrew Powell. What did he ask?
what?
Andy asked, how does one become sexy?
Yeah, Andy Powell sent in a question knowing that I was going to be on today. How does one become sexy? And I told him I just do what my wife tells me.
So now my wife's gonna be happy
accurate.
because
Who is he asking? Is he asking you or is he asking me?
Well, it was a question posed to me, but
Oh, okay.
Michelle agrees with my answer.
I do, yes.
So we have confirmation for Andy.
and we came to the conclusion, the fact that I'm not sexy because I don't do anything my wife tells me to. So I'm gonna change that and become sexy.
Yes. Yes.
I like it.
It's out.
Once you listen to the wife, it's it's a game changer, trust me.
The sexy is on.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, we're
I
just
love
going to ask you
Michelle.
to keep it down up there if you could,
Fine, whatever.
I love you.
Love you, bye.
Bye.
Oh my God, we're totally not editing this out.
She's the best. I love her so much.
All right. Well, before you strip down and run upstairs, no, I'm just kidding. So we got the virtual assistant. He's killing it. Have you delegated your email to him yet? Or are you?
So he has an email address that certain things go to, certain notifications and automations. And we have one kind of main email that we share in the office that he'll end up signing into soon. But the reason I brought up the garage door games was because, and this is just a skill that, just something. This is why John fits the part, is why he fits the role. Said, hey, would you be interested in doing a little like infographic for us? Like, well, I haven't really done it, but I'll check it out. So jump on a Zoom screen share, show him my Canva account, walk him through a couple things, and he did that whole thing. So
Nice.
yeah, and it was awesome. And
But
so
you're not giving him delegation rights to your email?
not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. So he's starting
you
off
plan on
part-time. Well, he's starting off part-time, and so we're trying to get him up to speed and let him find, kind of his strengths in this position, and then go from there.
Okay.
So
Just fill it out. And he's this is a first time virtual assistant, right? Like he's never
Mhm.
done it before. Okay.
but he does,
you're
I mean,
using-
anything I've given him so far, he's done well with. So
Good.
I think it's important for, like, if you're looking for someone to fill that role, being able to follow instruction is like critical, right? And he does that well. So but yeah, so that's our virtual assistant. We also brought on another helper. Go ahead.
Real quick, I just want to say, like, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was talking about like wealthy habits that wealthy people have.
Mhm.
And the main thing that he was talking about was buying time back.
Yeah.
There's a common saying that you can't get back time.
Mhm.
You can't get back past time, but you can create more time. And yes, there's only 24 hours in a day, but you can free yourself up more hours of the day so that you can enjoy that time.
Yeah.
And certain ways to do that was like, he was talking about hiring somebody to cut your grass. He said, yeah, you can cut your own grass and maybe you enjoy it. So maybe that's just something you do for yourself. But he said, if it takes an hour and a half to do the lawn, you could pay somebody to do that. And then he was talking about getting an assistant and all these other things. And he said, over time, once you start like delegating all that stuff, you can free yourself up, 5, 10, 20 hours a week to do something else. And hopefully you don't fill those with other busy work.
But if you like cutting the grass, the goal is to be able to choose to cut the grass, not come home, late from work one night and be like, shoot, I still got to cut the grass today. Like,
right.
I've been putting it off for 3 days. It's got to get done. Like, and that's where, and that's kind of the cool thing with us too, is trying to allow people to find what they're good at, because passion is a major driver for success for everything, right? You don't have to make millions of dollars if you're passionate and happy in what you do. If you can find passion and then find ways to make that passion pay you millions of dollars, that is ideal, right?
Yeah.
But that's why I try not to bring anybody on and stick them in a role. They have to do their job that they're hired for, but there also is room to grow and build that role. And so, like, while you have your marketing agency, you have your speaking, you have the garage door business, that's awesome, because you can bring someone in, and if they're not great at installing garage doors, but you find that they really enjoy, doing video editing, well, hey, I got something I can have you do.
That's what I did with Austin. Austin, a lot of people don't know this, but he does pretty much all of our web design stuff. And he started with me at Aaron Overhead Doors. I had a background in graphic design, and he didn't want to do doors anymore. And I was thinking about doing a marketing department, and we ended up launching such and such media with him being kind of like the do-all. And I was like, bro, it's not going to be all on you for a little while. And he's like, that's fine. And so he's been with me for 3 years, pretty much doing all the web design stuff. And but I mean, he was turning wrenches and installing doors and winding springs and all of that prior to coming on board at my marketing agency.
Consistency in everything, including price, reliability, quality, not just quality, but great quality control. These are things that describe Somer USA. Somer's not some startup company, not one that you need to be worried about going out of business in the near future. Somer and their family of businesses are $200 million companies. They're in over 100 countries, and they have locations in 20 countries. This is a large organization who stands behind their product and works through integrity. And there's not another company out there willing to drop what they're doing and help you out like Somer. These guys are awesome. Not only have they been loyal to the Torsion Talk podcast, they've been loyal to the technicians and the owners of the companies who install their product. In my opinion, if you're not at least offering Somer as an additional option, you're cheating yourself. Listen, first-time dealers, I've got a special for you. If you buy 10 or more Somers between now and the end of the season 6, while supplies last, we will offer you free shipping. You have no more excuses. The prices are great. The product is amazing. Go check out Somer USA and order 10 for free shipping. I'm going to tell you guys a marketing secret. You want to gain more social media likes, shares, and follows? People love unique and cool projects. There are no better photos to share than the ones on Schweiss Doors social accounts. These guys post some incredible things. Make sure to go there and like and share their Facebook and Instagram post with your business account So if you like their business account, you can share their post. The bifold doors are awesome, and they're doing some great projects that will go viral on social media if you share them. Go right now to Schweiss Door on Facebook and check out some of the projects they share and like their page. Oh, and don't forget, no one builds a better bifold than Schweiss.
It's fun seeing people grow. And so I've known Austin pretty much as long as he's been working with you.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, when we came out for our GDU meetup, and you were doing like kind of a live breakdown of some of people's websites, and he stepped out and he kind of like eyeballed something, and then he totally dissected that whole thing and ran it down, and then found an error, went and sat at his desk and fixed it and came back out. It was like, oh, you're good. It's like, damn, man, like Austin stepped up. Like,
yeah, no, he's good. Like it's we'll be in a meeting and we'll catch, it's funny because like with websites, it's very different than garage doors. Garage doors, you know, you press the button, it goes up, it goes down, and eventually you have wear and tear, something breaks or an outside interference, you know, whatever. But with websites, I mean, you constantly have updates, you got code, you got servers, so you literally have to go through the website almost every month and look for things. And some things will just change. And so you got to try to fix those things. And what you're talking about is we had pulled something up and there was something that was like out of alignment or something. And, but like, once we see those things, it takes Austin like literally 30 seconds to just fix. So it's, he's good at what he does. But you were saying that you hired another person. What position was this for?
So we hired another, we try to have 2 people in every truck. I would rather send 2 people for a 1-person job than send 1 person for a 2-person job. That's just how we work. And so we hired another, I was looking for another full-time tech to run the truck. We want to, ideally for where we're at and our overhead and the things we want to do, we need 3 trucks running. You know, we're making do with 2, but you get sick time, vacation time, all, you know, callbacks, stuff like that. We need a 3rd truck running. And so we've been looking for the right people. Right. And I know you've talked about hiring experienced people versus hiring inexperienced people. We have a couple experienced people who are great. You know, we're generally not looking for someone who comes from another garage door company. If we find someone that fits our company, great. Come on, we'll bring you up to speed.
Which is few and far between.
Right. You know, we have our young guy, Logan, who can tell you left-hand wind, right-hand wind. He can cut and cone springs. Then we bring in somebody else who's a very smart person, who's a good person, who fits our culture, was working for a company that doesn't really work to our standards. He's been working for 5 years. My 20-year-old helper had to teach him how to cut and cone a spring. It's just the difference, you know, and so we're looking for people who want to do more, who want to do better, who want to know the why behind what we do. And I tell my guys all the time, if you can come to me and teach me something about garage doors, like that's where your raises come from. Like I need you to be better at this job than I am. And they are, you know, but we want to keep learning. We just had, I know Jeannie sponsors your Committed to Culture.
Mm-hmm.
We just had their commercial traveling trainer come in. She was fantastic.
Really?
Fantastic. Yeah. And they have, I don't know if you saw them at an expo or not, but they have tablets and they can run a whole diagnostic, run through the whole thing. It was cool. Especially because everything's digital now and they have a touchpad, which they've had for a while. You got to know how to use that stuff.
Yeah.
It's very simple, but we all got a hands-on on it. And Devin, our new guy, he's right in there looking to learn with everybody else. You know, with our insurance, the way it is, I don't know how it is in Georgia, but if you're under 25, auto insurance is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. And so it's either got to be a consideration with your pay, or we just have to find someone who's over 25 and got a clean driving record. So Devin's a few years away from running a truck. That doesn't mean we can't have him in a position where he's running it from the passenger seat.
Yeah.
right? But then if his, we'll say helper driver calls out, then that truck's dead for the day, unless we just say, don't hit anything. We'll see you later. Just, and so now we're looking for another full-time role to sit in the driver's seat. But we're looking at realistically, I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, but 3 to 6 months before I could put somebody out with a helper who's been here longer than them and trusted they can go out and do a good job. Like 3 to 6 months to me is really the least, I think. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it depends fully on the training program, right?
Yeah.
I've seen, like, I know now the system that we have in place that I can have somebody installing doors on an install side in about 2 to 3 months. That's because we have a full training facility. We have them break it down, put it together. We have a full system on how to show them how to do it. Like, I mean, we've got it down pretty well. I mean, we'll have somebody over here helping him do it the first couple times, walking him through why, this is this. Where it gets a little tricky is when you get into like high lift and low headroom and extension springs, because we don't do a lot of those here. So we don't train on extension springs that much. But we train on rear torsion, high lift, all of that. So it depends on the training system that you have. But I'll be honest with you. If I can do it with 4.5 days of training, anybody can do it in 2 months. Anybody.
Can anybody do it? Could you do it in 4 hours and have it be produce income for you on a regular basis? That's the problem, right?
Yeah. I mean, but honestly, dude, it just depends on how bad they want it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the skill set. I created the skill set.
Yeah.
And in between jobs, I'm working on SEO and watching YouTube videos on how to repair garage doors. And, I mean, were all of them right? No, but I was trained well enough in 4.5 days to know what was right and what was not right. But I got to see different ways that different people did things. And that helped me when I diagnosed a door to be like, oh, okay, I remember this one guy did it this way, and that was kind of cool, and it would work really well in this scenario. And, I always had Larry where I could call him and FaceTime and go over the problems and fix them. So for me, like, I just genuinely believe that, it depends on the training and the person and how hungry they are.
Yeah.
For me, if I'm going to get a job at a garage door company or any company for that matter, one of the first things I'm going to do is like all their social media pages.
Yeah.
Second thing I'm going to do is research their website. Third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and learn. Before I even start, I'm going to try and get the basics down. Now I know what services they offer, all this stuff. I'm going to go in and try to figure out what does that look like. I'm going to watch YouTube videos and everything else. And then my first day, I'm going to have some familiarity with what you're talking about. And I think there's a lack of that a little bit, but we try to, like, what we do is when we hire someone and there's like a 2-3 week window where before they start, a lot of times we'll send them, links to stuff to research on their free time. If they don't do it, I mean, it's not like the end of the world. It doesn't really say good or bad, but if they do it, that shows me they're kind of bought in and they're willing to go a little bit above and beyond.
Well, I'll tell you what, Devin, and every time we bring somebody on, we did have some turnover this year. We had a couple people that just didn't fit. And that's fine. They usually weed themselves out. But Devin's day one, he left with a binder with our employee handbook, the IDEA residential installer manual, and a dozen or so pages of resources that I wanted him to have, like identifying extension springs by the color, right? Stuff like that. And then he's also got, kind of a structured plan, like a bullet list of different levels that he needs to achieve with a rough timeline. Like, hey, this is where we expect you to be in 3 months. And he's got a printout of it, but we do a lot of stuff in Google Drive too. If you go in the Google Drive, I've actually started linking videos to like, hey, by this time we expect you to be able to know how to weigh a door. Do you know that Service Spring has a YouTube video on how to weigh a door? Well, now right on his, his list there's a link to it. So there's no reason, and that's the thing, we're trying to give you as many resources and opportunities as possible to hit those benchmarks. So there's no reason that you shouldn't be hitting them. If you're not, then it's not for you. Yeah. So we've learned a lot. We've learned to better manage our expectations, but also to set the expectation. And the better we've gotten at pushing our culture, the more quickly we weed out the people who belong here don't belong here.
And if there's nothing else said in this whole podcast that helps you, I genuinely believe, here's what I'm learning by going to different businesses. Culture sets the tone for everything else. Everything. Sales, operations, doesn't matter. Culture sets the tone for everything.
I let a guy go this year. It was one of the most difficult things I've had to do since running this business. And I like the guy, and he had potential, but he just wasn't doing what he needed to do. And I kind of like it broke my heart a little bit. And I was in my head, for a while over it before I finally said, this is it. He has to go. And there was a company-wide change within a week, almost instantly, for the better.
Dude, we just had a guy, and I liked him as a person, and it was hard, but we just had a guy that we let go after giving him like freaking 5 chances to follow the rules right. And as soon as he left, like, he was complaining a little bit to the other guys. Dude, everything changed. And what's funny is he was complaining because he didn't have enough work. Well, as soon as he's left, now we have enough work to have been kept him busy. It's weird how that works, honestly, because I've seen that play out many times. But we're doing the same amount of revenue almost with 2 people that we were with 3.
Yeah, so some people are always going to have that kind of negative attitude or outlook, like, oh, something's always not going to be good enough.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know, it just was meant to be that it worked out that way, I guess.
Yep. But it culture powers, a positive culture power. It's the energy. It is, you can't turn the light on without electricity. And you can't power through and get to the next level in sales without culture. You can't create good operations without culture. I mean, you can, but I think people will just be following those operations out of fear of losing their job or, whatever temporary reason. But they're not going to be focused on trying to maintain it. Where like I posted something the other day on Facebook, and one of my employees texted me and told me how much he looks up to me and how much he loves his job and how he appreciates the way that we treat him. And I mean, dude, really? Like, what employers are out there really striving to create that type of atmosphere where your employees care that much? And I think culture is the key to everything. And listen, culture is like fashion. It never ends. It just evolves. So you're not like, once you get to the point where you feel like you got good culture, it's just starting. Yeah. This is where it begins. And it takes a lot of heartache to get to that one part, because a lot of times you got to dismiss people.
Yep.
Make difficult challenging decisions that contradict like what the business world would tell you to do.
Yeah. I had my part-time sales guy that I had. I liked the guy. He seemed like things started off on the right foot. One of the things he said to me when he finally was like, he's like, I quit. Oh, one of the things he mentioned was that he didn't get paid well enough. I'm like, well, funny thing about commission is you earn your money. And so, now he left, and I'm digging back through all his open leads that are just, and I'm looking at things, and I gave him numbers, right? Margins that we wanted to hit for certain products and this and that. Every single thing was within 1% of the minimum that I asked him to have it at, and he still wasn't closing jobs. Like, we're better off that he's gone.
Yeah.
Really. So he did save a lot of time, and I desperately want to fill that position again, but I don't have enough experience to as far as finding a salesperson. So I'm not really being super proactive about it. I am looking for it. I've noticed a couple people who've applied for the technician job with like sales background, like, hey, by the way, like, if you have some technical knowledge, I see you got sales experience, we are also interested in filling that role. So right now we're doing okay with me doing a lot of sales stuff. Our new door sales aren't like, that's not our biggest driver right now. We're doing a lot of service work. We're doing more commercial work. And so we don't have enough door leads like to fill that position full time.
Yeah.
Organically, we have enough where it's a good part-time position, but it's kind of one of those things like, putting the cart before the horse, right? Like, do we want the leads before we have the salesperson, or do we find the right salesperson who helps generate those leads? Like, that's the path that I'm down right now. Is ideally I want to find that salesperson who's going to help generate those leads, or at least free up time for me where I can go ahead and generate more leads.
Right.
Because they're out there.
Yeah.
They are out there.
100%. Well, Greg, dude, sounds like your business is blowing up and you're figuring it out as you go, as we all are. But it sounds like you're making the right but tough decisions to stay on the path that you're committed to.
Yep.
And that's creating a great culture and a fun place to work, where people enjoy going every day. And you're not willing to sacrifice some of the issues for talent, sounds like.
Yeah,
Which
which
is a
makes
huge
it
sacrifice.
It is. And in the short term, it hurts profit, but in the long term, like seeing where we've come in the last 2 to 3 years to where we are now, this is, I feel, a place that people want to work, and we're getting better applicants, and we've seen a shift where, and in my perception with some of the applicants, like, we don't need you so much as we want you to be here.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep.
There's that like that little bit of desperation makes it, you just, all right, come on, we'll try it out. Like, we're being selective, and we want to bring on the right people. We're working on it. It makes it harder, but it makes it better, I think.
Well, real quick on the sales position, because I think there's going to be a lot of people with that question, and that's kind of my background. In that position, just so we can close this out with this right here, you're looking for a hunter, right? Someone with a personality that's going to go get it. Isn't that like, there's two personalities when it comes to sales? You have hunters and gatherers, right? Gatherers are pretty good with leads and follow-up. Hunters are primarily people who you give them a knife and a gun, and they're going to go kill and bring back your food. You want hunters, because when things slow down, they're not standing around like, well, what do I do now? They are out there knocking on doors and doing whatever it takes to make it happen. There's a difference, and how you get there is you hire the right person and you build the right comp plan. Well, how do you build the right comp plan? It depends greatly on the results that you're trying to get, but align the comp plan with what you want accomplished. And don't be afraid to pay this person well if they kill it or exceed goal. Like, I have a lot of kickers in place to where if they exceed the numbers that I want, then I pay them pretty well. Like, for instance, if you're a service professional and you exceed my number that I want for you by a certain percentage, I may give you a percentage of everything that you've done for the entire month. Right. So you're on commission, plus you get like a kickback And so there's lots of different ways you can play with comp plans, especially for salespeople. But the key is to make it super simple, because salesperson doesn't want to spend an hour calculating his commission. So you got to have like, you get this % of everything. And then if you exceed by this much, you get a percentage of your entire month or something like that. You can pay a small salary. Like there's a lot of questions about salaries. You don't want to pay a salary that somebody can live off of when it comes to salespeople, because primarily a salary is a good faith. Hey, this is out there to, whatever, this is for the basics. And then after that, you want to make majority of your income, if not all of it, on commission based on your performance. But the more they can lean on that salary, the less motivated they'll be. And that's just human. That's who we are. So there's no way around that. But I felt like I'd provide a little bit of information for that, because I do get that question quite a bit. And I felt like it might be helpful for people that are also looking for salespeople.
Absolutely.
Well, Greg, thanks for joining. And listen, if you love Greg's voice, you don't get to see his sexy, but if you love his voice, make sure you check him out on Mondays with Monday Morning Myndset. He does a little inspirational 10, 15, 20 minutes, depends on what mood he's in. And so it's a great way to start your week. So make sure you check that out. Thank you for following Torsion Talk Podcast, and make sure that you like, subscribe, and smash that like button. I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
Hit the bell. What do they do? I don't know.
I don't know.
Share it with your friends. Yeah, get your grandma listening. Whatever you gotta do. Anyway, Torsion Talk. Let's see. Real quick before we leave, let's just have some fun here. Let's see where we're at. I haven't done this in a minute. We have a bunch of views on YouTube from the past. But I haven't really checked those. But just audio alone, we're at 56,000 all-time plays.
Nice.
That's pretty crazy, y'all.
Awesome.
That is awesome. So super excited about that. I mean, for a garage door industry podcast to have about 60,000 plays. And I think if you combine all of our YouTube stuff just for Torsion Talk and Monday Morning Myndset, I think we got like another 10, somewhere around there on that, which is pretty killer. So anyway, great job. Listen, I want to say thank you to Tamara, even though she was super quiet today.
I was not. You always say that.
Yeah, but you were super quiet for the most part, but that's okay. I mean, Greg and I talked enough for 3 people, so we're probably pretty good. Anyway, if you guys need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here. We love you guys. Stay cool. Have a wonderful week. Be safe, and we will holler at you later.
Bye.
Love you later.